USA, no, not USA Today. Fox News.
No, you went to Fox News.
The Fox News.
You went right to the resource.
We're dancing around a little bit. We're trying to mix it up. Mm-hmm. Fox News states how to choose the right real estate agent during your divorce.
In a divorce.
During a divorce. USA Today
doing
has...
it.
Yep, we're doing it. They've cited that 31% of couples responded that the quarantine has adversely impacted the relationship.
Oh, it was a negative. 31 had negatively hurt?
Yeah,
Interesting.
31% said the quarantine negatively hurt.
You know, I'd actually like to know, though, how the quarantine has helped some couples, though.
It probably has. I think it's been fine for mine.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, people that were, like, in the negative and, you know, now maybe in the positive.
Rediscovered love.
Yeah.
ABC News concurs that divorces will surge after the pandemic loosens up, or mostly the quarantine. Basically, as divorce courts open up, they think there's going to be a flood of divorces. So, Nicole, I ask you, you've dealt with plenty of divorce situation clients, couples that need to sell their home, select a real estate agent for their sale, and maybe the purchases after. Mm-hmm. What are your tips for somebody that is thinking about hiring an agent because they are getting divorced? What should they do?
So I feel like each divorce is so different. I guess it kind of depends. Is it amicable? Is it, I had one time, the wife was actually allowed to pick the real estate agent, but I was written into their divorce.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like I had to be the representing agent that was like written in the divorce. So
any other perks? Or you get a car? Or?
No, there was no car. But anyway, I do think, to be really honest, I do think that this is probably one of the situations, and this is just me personally, where you're probably not necessarily wanting to hire a friend. I think that it's wildly...
who wrote this? Rob Wynn, who is an agent, and he's been on Real Trends, which we're going to talk about later.
Yep.
He's been on Real Trends 10 years straight, top 100 agents in America. He said the same thing, Nicole. Don't hire a friend.
No friend, no family. I think, though, that if either party trusts an agent, I mean, I would 100% be more than happy to like liaison, you know, where if they did trust you. But I definitely wouldn't let a friend represent either party. I mean, again, especially if they were friends mutually or if one had a separate, I wouldn't even go there. I do think that interviewing obviously during this time is like wildly important. You know, how obviously effective are they? What are they going to do? I do think that this 100% needs to be more than ever a business transaction.
Yeah, it needs to be a total business transaction. If they're getting along, to your point, and they both agree that's the best agent in our neighborhood, hands down, go ahead, move forward. If it's going to be an easy peasy divorce, but if there is toxicity in the divorce,
the husband
that's not going to work.
Won't want to work with the person that the wife picks.
Not only that, I've been in these divorce situations where these people are just straight up lying. They are liars. They're like, oh yeah, we want to sell the house.
Yep.
And one person secretly has no intentions of selling the house. All they have intentions to do
They're
is
like declining all the showings, and the other side doesn't even know.
Yeah.
This is, again, another time as an agent to over communicate. Like everything needs to be given to everybody. I wouldn't even be opposed to finding out maybe who each attorneys are, to make sure that the attorneys are sort of abreast on what's going on there too. And again, what's super interesting is that they could be amicable at the beginning, but at any moment, anything could really
that's where my advice is going to sit. You can read the article, obviously, if you want to see what that advice is. But mine would be, you know, anything outside of a very friendly divorce, which doesn't happen very often, would be to have the attorney interview 3. You can go, and we're going to talk about the Real Trends, and the America's Best is about to come out in a couple days through Real Trends. Mm-hmm. You can find out very easily by going to that website, who are the top 3 agents in my region? Who are the top 3 teams? Who are the top 3 agents in my region? Now, does either party want to remove somebody from that hat? Okay, no, we've got our 3. Let the attorney interview those 3. Let him or her pick for you, and let them be the communicator between that agent or team. The buyer, the sellers at this point, the divorced couple, they can't make logical decisions. They're acting off of an emotion. That's how they got to this point to begin
lots
with.
of sellers are working off of emotion, but...
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Very true. But that's how they got to this point to begin with. They're over emotional. They're in this very stressful state of their life. Allow somebody who, the trusted attorney, maybe you guys both have your divorce attorney and you select a real estate attorney to interview these three and you pay them a small fee.
I mean, and more now than ever, this is certainly going to be a situation of wanting to win too. So you have to be super mindful of that going into that situation too, that's certainly where their mindset will be to who's going to win. So,
but I do think it comes down to interviewing out of the top three. Why are you going to ever, really in any scenario, consider anybody in the bottom three or the middle three?
Right.
Doesn't make any sense. The goal here in the divorce is get the most money, get rid of the deal, and move on with your lives.
Keep it neutral as possible for sure.
Put it in the best in your marketplace hands.
Well, that kind of makes me sad. I kind of want to see how many people are doing better.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. All these news outlets. I mean, if you Google it, Nicole,
well, those are
did.
news. I mean, you did. You Googled it. You Googled how many people are doing better. Do they even ask those questions? They probably don't even. That won't even be a header. Nobody cares about how well people are doing. Everybody just wants to know how shitty everybody else is doing.
If you type into Google divorces in pandemic, you get USA Today, Surge, New York Post, coronavirus is leading so many couples to divorce.
Surge. I see Surge.
The pandemic has slowed the divorce process because the courts aren't open. Once they open, explosion will happen.
Wow.
Planning for your divorce during the COVID. It is just like on and on and on. I feel bad for those couples that have been locked up that hate each other. But that is probably their motivation to get out of that deal and wish them luck with that. All right.
Yeah.